Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ezine and I'm a fashion designer based in the eastern part of Nigeria. On my previous video, I made a tutorial of how to make this bishop collar drawstring shirt with a detachable ostrich feathers on the sleeve part. So on today's tutorial, we are going to learn how to make this easy wear palazzo pants. This is what you think you'll be interested in. Please make sure you watch to the end. Now, without wasting much time, let us get right into the video. So this is the same fabric I used for the shirt, and I'll be using the same fabric for the pants. For this style, I got 3 yards for it, of which I used 1.5 yards just for the trouser part, and then I used the remaining 1.5 for the shirt part. I've gone ahead to fold my fabric so that I can start marking out my measurements. This fabric is very slippery, so I'll just be extra careful, and because it's not so bright, I had to use a black marker so that you guys can see it clearly. I'll go ahead and rule out my first line so that I can start taking my measurements from there. Now the first thing I'll do is to mark my hip line, which is 10 inches. So I'll go ahead and mark that. After marking it all through, I'll just go ahead and use my ruler, and then I'll make a straight line, and after that I'll label it so that it doesn't get confusing. The next thing I'll do is to begin to mark my crotch depth. My crotch depth is 11.5 inches. Go ahead and then I'll mark 11.5 inches all through, and then I'll roll a line. Now after that, the next thing we'll be marking out is our knee. Our knee is 21 inches, so we'll just go ahead and mark this all the way down, and then we'll roll a line. Now on my hip line, the next thing I'll do is to impute my hip measurement, which is 12 inches. So I'll go ahead and mark that. Now on the waistline, I'll go ahead and impute the same 12 inches that I put for my hip. I'll go ahead and put it back on my waistline, and then I'll make a connection. So now on my crotch measurement, I'm going to be bringing down my hip measurement, which is 12. Now after bringing that down, I'll add 2 extra inches, making it 14. Okay, so this is going to serve as our flap. Now after I'm done with marking that, I'll make a curve connection from that particular point to our hip measurement. So I'll be using my curved ruler to make this connection to avoid any sort of mistakes. Now the next thing I'll do is to go to my waistline and mark out my waist measurements. After I'm done marking that, I'll go ahead and make a connection from there down to my hip line measurement. Remember, I told you that we are not going to be adding any allowances on this fabric because it is super stretchy. Now on the waistline, we'll go ahead and mark out 1 inch. Okay, now when we mark this, we'll slant it back to the side of the waist. This is just to help eliminate the bulginess that would occur in front of the pants. Now just for the context, this fabric was super stretchy and it gave me a kind of hard time to work on. Now the next thing we'll do is to automatically bring down whatever measurements we have on our crotch depth down to our knee measurement. Okay, because this is a free pant, it's not supposed to be tight at all, so it's just going to take a free fall. We'll bring it down to the knee, and then we'll also take it down to the length of the pants. Okay, so here I had to take my pants length measurement. So my camera was too small to capture the length, so I had to be shifting it, if you noticed in the video, and I also had to be adjusting my tailor's arm so that it helps keep the fabric firm. So because I wanted the length of my pants to be long, I used 42 inches, but that is not my usual length. But I noticed that palazzo pants are finer when it's longer. So I've marked it up. Then next I'll go ahead and use the ruler to connect the lines together. So now that I'm done with that, the next will be to connect the knee down to our pants length measurement, and that is it. So we are done marking out our measurements. Now the next thing will be to just cut it out. Remember, this is only the front part of the pants. After cutting this, we'll use this and cut the back part of the pants. So for the sides, since this was on fold, we'll just go ahead and slash slash the sides open. Like I said, there is no measurement for this because this is a palazzo pant, so it's just very free. So this is the front. I'm done cutting it out, and as you can see, I've placed it down so that it can serve as a guide to use and cut the back. And from the waist, I'll go ahead and start marking my 2 inches. I'll keep doing this down to the crotch area, just as you see me doing. Now after I'm done marking it, I'll just connect the lines together. So for this part, I'll just rule the line straight down to meet the length of the pants. Remember, on that same 2 inches, I ruled the line straight down. So in order to eliminate this gap from the back of the trouser waist, we are going to be raising the back up by 1 extra inch, and then we'll slant it down back to the side waist of the pants, just as you see me doing in the video. The next thing will be to remove 1 inch from the back of this pants and then slide it down so that it can meet the crotch area, just as you see me doing in the video. And we'll go ahead and add back the 1 inch that we removed from the center back down to the side of the pants, just as you see me doing in the video. I'll go ahead and add it back to the side of the pants. So it's very necessary to add it back. We can't just remove it from the center and leave it that way. We have to add it back. So here I'm extending the slanted line, and then I'll use my ruler and rule it down to the hip area. Now that I'm done with marking out, the next thing will be to start cutting. And also remember that I didn't add any allowance for these pants because it is super stretchy. And then I'm going to be adding the zip by the side of the pants. A very stretchy fabric. There's no need adding allowance because that is going to make it extra big. But once you don't add allowance and you sew, it is going to fit perfectly. So now that we are done cutting, the next thing will be to start sewing it. So now the first thing we'll have to sew is the front side. So we are going to join the front side together by placing the two right sides together. We're going to be sewing on the wrong side. So as you can see, this is the front and this is the crotch area. So go in by half of an inch, and then we'll sew it down to the crotch area. Also, this is the same thing that we are going to be doing for the back. We'll go ahead and just take in half an inch, sew in half an inch at the back, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. So guys, I'm done sewing it, and this is what it looks like when you open it up. Now I'm going to face it. I'm going to make it lie down so that you see what it looks like. Now this is it. I've sewn it together and this is what it looks like, as you can see. And I also did the same thing for the back side. Now the next thing we'll do is to open it up, let it face the front, and as it's facing the front like so, I'll go ahead and bring the other part, the back, and then I'll make the two right side or the two front sides face each other. Now after that, I'll make sure that the two flaps are aligned. Okay, just as you see me doing in the video, it's very important that the back and the front flap align, and then I'll go ahead and hold this down with pins so that it doesn't shift. After that, I'll sew it straight down to the length of the pants, and I'll come back and show you. So this is it. I've sewn it up together and this is how it looks like. Okay, so I've run my stitch down to the end side of the pants. Now the next thing we'll be doing is to join the sides together. So I'll go ahead and join the sides together in like 1 inch, and I'll leave the area for my zipper like maybe 9 inches or something, depending on how long my zip is, but I'm using a short zip anyways. Here I've joined the sides together, and the next thing I'll be doing is to fix the band. So obviously I'll lose the top of the side, and then I would cut out 2 pieces of the band. I'll fix one for the front and I'll fix one for the back. This is because we are going to be using one side as our zipper. So I've measured one part of my waist and I use that in cutting out my band. So here is my band. So this is my band and this is what it looks like. Altogether I cut 4 inches and then by fold it will give you 2 inches for the height. So here I am going to be fixing the band at one side first before I'll go ahead and fix it for the other side. So this is how I am going to be fixing it. I would place the band to the front side of one side of the pants and I'll place it together and then I'll use pins to hold it down to the end part before taking it down to my sewing machine. So I'll go ahead and start using pins to hold it first. So here I'm done holding it down with pins and the next thing I'll do is to do the same thing to the other side. I'll go ahead and repeat the same process I did as the first. I'll hold it down with pins and after I'm done doing that I'll take it to my sewing machine and sew and come back and show you guys what it looks like. So you guys, I'm done fixing it and this is what it looks like. I've also gone ahead to fix the zip properly and it all looks very neat. The band has been fixed and the zip has also been fixed. Also for the length of the pants, I didn't fold it because I realized folding it will make the pants shorter, so I just went ahead to weave it up. And I'm also sorry that my camera couldn't capture the length of this pants because I guess it wasn't positioned properly. So now this is me wearing the pants and the shirt from the previous video. And please, if you watched and enjoyed this video to this point, don't forget to like, share, give it a comment and put on your notification bells in order to get notified whenever I post subsequent videos. Thank you so much for joining me on this tutorial. Bye and see you next time.